Hello all, in this video we will talk about how to interface a NodeMCU with DHT11 sensor. So DHT11 sensor is a temperature and humidity sensor, and it comes in two variants. One is 3 pin with a PCB type and one is 4 pin type. But the connectivity to this sensor actually has three pins. One it requires a supply which is 3.3 volt, ground, and then signal. The signal output has a specific protocol that will be followed, and this will be interfaced to a node MCU by connecting the signal pin of this DHT11 sensor to the D1 pin of NodeMCU board, and 3.3 volt is connected to the 3v3 pin and to ground. Very simple interfacing diagram, right? This is just what you need for interfacing DHT11 sensor. That's it. Now let us see the same connections on the PCB, we'll be using a breadboard basically, and then move to the code part. You can see the interfacing of the node MCU with the DHT11 sensor. So DHT11 sensor, if you see, has three pins. You can see on the back side, signal, plus, minus. So signal is the output of that DHT11, which will be connected to the D1. You can see here it is connected to the D1, the orange wire, and then the red wire is the 3.3 volt. You can see on the back side, which is a plus pin, and then the other pin is connected to the ground. So a very simple interfacing, right? Nothing complex here. Now let us try to see the code and run it and see how it is behaving. So here is the code for the DHT11 sensor, and we are connecting it to the pin D1 as we have shown. And then the DHT type, there are several DHT types, DHT11, 1122. So depending on the DHT type, you might have to mention it here. So this DHT, if you see here, is a function, inbuilt function, which is part of the DHT library, so which we are using, which we already installed. And then if you don't have this DHT installed, you can go here, click on library manager, okay, and then you can say DHT11, okay, and then actually we have installed DHT sensor library by Adafruit. Okay, so that's why you can see here it is installed. You can install as per your requirement and the board that you are using. Okay, and then we have enabled the serial port at 115200. Okay, and then DHT begin. So we are just trying to start the reading process. So now in the loop, what we are doing is actually the inbuilt function we are using to read the humidity, temperature, and then the temperature by default is in Celsius. So we are trying to read that as Fahrenheit as well. So these three are basically the inbuilt functions that we are using. We are not writing any specific thing here, and then we are trying to take the value because it's a float value that we'll be receiving. So temperature and humidity, and if we any of these read fails, okay, so you can see here, if any of these read fails, we are saying that fail to read from DHT sensor, so you get an error. And then you can see, so what we are doing is we are trying to calculate the heat index and heat index in degrees centigrade. Okay, so these two we are additionally calculating from the temperature reading that is measured, and then we are just trying to print here the humidity, and then with a tab temperature, and a temperature in degree centigrade, and then heat index in degree centigrade and Fahrenheit. So that is a very simple code. There's nothing much, and this is a simple code. You can also open the codes from here. Like if you go to File, Examples, and then if you scroll down, you can have DHT sensor library, and you can also use DHT tester code. So if you click on this, the DHT tester code opens up. You can use that as well if required. Okay, and then configure as per your pins that you are using. So a very simple code, right? Now let us try to dump this. So it's just trying to dump. So the code dump is under progress. Okay, it's just writing to the flash memory of the NodeMCU, and then the hard reset has happened. Now go to the tools and click on serial monitor. You can see the humidity value, the temperature value, and in degree centigrade, in Fahrenheit, and then the heat index. Okay, so you can see clearly the readings that are being mentioned. So, for us, humidity and temperature are the major things that we need to know, and then we can use the sensor readings to do different things in the processing that we need. Like example, we can compare this with something. If it goes beyond a threshold, you can say a heat wave has occurred. Okay, or based on the humidity, we can say humidity has increased. So many things can be done with these readings. Hope this is useful. Please post if you have any questions. Thank you.